Over in the pages of DC Comics, the publisher is looking to bring back Birds of Prey for a brand new title. And I think one of the aspects about this new book that makes it really intriguing is the roster making up this new team. The character of Big Barda is a fascinating new god from DC Comics continuity that I think is really going to change up the team dynamic, alongside the kind of cold exterior over for Cassandra Cain, who is currently known as Batgirl over in the DC universe. Plus, we even have some ties over to Wildstorm with an introduction of the Zealot character to the Birds of Prey roster as well. And really, these characters are set to work over with Black Canary Dinah Lance as she searches for her sister, Cynthia Lance, within the context of the DC universe. My name is Arako Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and dive into the pages of DC Comics' latest Birds of Prey series to see if Dinah can coordinate with the other birds to bring her sister home. Before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. Breaking hearts and faces. The Birds of Prey are back. Every mission matters, every life saved is a miracle. But this time, it's personal. Dinah Lance is one of the DCU's most elite fighters, and combined with her sonic scream, she's a fearsome foe in any scenario. But sometimes, even the Black Canary needs help. What could possibly go wrong? Kelly Thompson makes her long-awaited DC Universe writing debut and is joined by her Hawkeye partners in crime, Leonardo Romero and Jordie Bellaire, to debut an all-new, all-deadly Birds of Prey series, still breaking hearts and faces after all these years. Birds of Prey issue 1 is written over from Kelly Thompson, featuring art by Leonardo Romero. We have colors by Jordie Bellaire, letters from Clayton Cowles, and the cover for the issue is illustrated by both Leonardo Romero and Jordie Bellaire. Really like how this cover kind of introduces this really dynamic roster of the Birds of Prey team, and also features this really interesting backdrop to show how dynamic I think some of the art is from Leonardo Romero across this title here. And I want to extend a big thank you over to Leonardo Romero directly for posting some preview pages over on his Twitter accounts. This new launch over at DC Comics featuring the Birds of Prey is really interesting from the art team alone, because artist Leonardo Romero, I think, is able to capture so much subtext of some of these scenes based on some of his visuals alone. If you take a look at this page that we have up on the screen, we can see that Dinah Lance is actively working on recruiting Batgirl Cassandra Cain. And I really do think that the way that they fight off some of these members in the League of Assassins, interspersed with so many of these shots between Dinah and Batgirl, is just a great way to communicate how competent both Batgirl as well as Dinah are as fighters over in the DC universe. Romero is able to capture so much subtext over from Kelly Thompson's writing between some of these scenes as well. It seems clear to me that over in these pages, Dinah is not ready to leave Oliver, but in order to save her sister Cynthia, she has to take these steps. And I do think that the way that some of the shading is coming in from the windows and some of the architecture over in the background really helps instill this more dour mood that sort of sets up the context of the issue and starts Dinah on her quest to recruit some of the members over in the Birds of Prey. In the following sequence, readers are able to catch up over with Batgirl and Big Barda as they fight through a group of vampires, which is an incredibly fun sequence that I think breaks up some of the tension over in the issue. There's some great artistic moments here with Big Barda, especially in one page that features Big Barda prominently shown over in the foreground as a character bleed. In the background, we have so many separate and disparate panels. Watching the contrast in the hues between the vampire's clothing and Big Barda's cape, I think really made this scene just so staggering and memorable over from Leonardo Romero. It also does a great job showing the physical ability that Big Barda lends over to this comic book issue. I was also really intrigued to see the character of Zealot introduced here. I thought Kelly Thompson's script did a great job retrofitting Zealot over into DC alongside her partner of Grifter. Watching some of Dinah's conversations and reactions to these characters also really got this issue started over on the right foot for me. Now, one of the central ideas that Kelly Thompson introduces towards the first scene with both Green Arrow and Black Canary is the fact that the Birds of Prey are missing one member of the roster. Honestly, this really perplexed me because I thought between some of the heavy hitters with characters like Zealot and Batgirl, along with Big Barda, that the physical aspect of the team is intact here. But it looks like our Birds of Prey are still looking to recruit one disparate member of the team. Thankfully, this sequence actually gives the character of Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, a chance to tell some of her stories with this mysterious member over in the DC universe. While I do think the script in Birds of Prey issue 1 is really endearing and sets up so many different fantastic aspects of the story, it's all of the incredible artwork and details from Romero that really makes this issue so easy to recommend over for readers. There's sequences with bleeds for characters like Harley Quinn that really help Leonardo Romero's really precise line look incredible throughout the comic book. In some of the later sequences of Birds of Prey, when our full team roster is assembled, there's all sorts of interesting shading coming in from the windows that really makes each page look like a labor of love from Romero. I'm really hoping that in future issues, Thompson will continue to reference some of the Wildstorm elements of characters like Zealot. I'm also hoping that Thompson will go ahead and touch on and really flesh out the character of Cynthia Lance in the context of Birds of Prey in future issues as well. So at the end of the day, I thought this was a fantastic issue for Birds of Prey. The way this roster is assembled and the creative team that DC Comics have brought over to the series has me really excited to check out future installments over in this book. I really do think that some of the creative scenarios that Leonardo Romero was able to paint over from Kelly Thompson's script made this issue of Birds of Prey really seem unique alongside that cast that we've mentioned countless times over throughout this review. Really hoping that in some future installments, we'll get some great characterization from Dinah Lance and really learn a little bit about the origins of Big Barda and what she's also going to lend over to the team. I want to know from you, what were some of your thoughts over on this debut issue of Birds of Prey? Did you like some of that really dynamic and gorgeous artwork that Leonardo Romero brought over to the series? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for coming to check out our review, and we'll be back to cover future issues of the series and talk the next steps over for Dinah Lance in the DCU. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.